In the deep forests of Therion, a dark shadow loomed over the sleepy town of Ravenwood with the arrival of the Night Wolves Epidemic. The locals, captured by fear, saw their nights transform into living nightmares when the moon raised its silvery glow. Among them was the calm mayor, Alexander Hartman, whose gaze denoted a silent anguish that went beyond words. The nightmare began with the howl of the beasts, whose eyes glowed with unearthly malevolence. A chill ran through the spines of the villagers as the shadows of the night wolves danced in the darkness of the ancient forests. The town's doctor, Dr. Alara Nightshade, found himself facing a flood of patients scarred by terrible bites, his medical knowledge challenged by an affliction beyond all logic. The unfortunate protagonists of this tragedy, Alaric Grimshaw and Alicia Silvermoon, lovers doomed by a cursed night, found themselves dragged to the epicenter of the epidemic. The nights became endless as the wolves of the night prowled, blinded by irrational fury. The narrative escalated in intensity when the intrepid hunter, Seraphina Bloodmoon, decided to confront the creatures that were ravaging her home, her bravery contrasting with the darkness that surrounded the village. Panic broke out when the church, the community's spiritual refuge, turned into a specter of horror. Father Gregory Blackthorne, facing the unknown, searched for answers in ancient scrolls and desperate prayers. Meanwhile, the wise old Isolde Ravenshadow, keeper of forgotten secrets, feared that the night wolves were the embodiment of an ancient curse. With each howl, the epidemic threw the village into a spiral of despair. The forging of dark destiny materialized when young lovers Alaric and Alicia found themselves transformed into nocturnal creatures, their love doomed to eternity in a dance macabre. Tension reached a fever pitch when the leader of the Night Wolves, Morrigan Shadow Dancer, emerged as the architect of the nightmare, tearing reality apart with her deadly claws. The fight for survival became intertwined with the quest for redemption when Seraphina, guided by visions from the psychic Cassandra Moonshade, ventured to unravel the origin of the epidemic. In an epic showdown, the line between man and beast blurred, and Ravenwood was plunged into supernatural chaos. The last hope lay in an ancient rite of purification, revealed by Isolde's ancient wisdom, as the full moon threatened to seal the village's fate. The culmination of the story was woven at the crossroads, where the wolves of the night and the inhabitants of Ravenwood converged. Hearts beat in a frantic rhythm as Seraphina, Alaric, and Alicia, marked by the curse, faced the final choice between redemption and perdition. Morrigan, the shadow that lingered in the darkness, contemplated the outcome with eyes that reflected an unfathomable past. Dawn cast its first rays on a town in ruins, where the survivors emerged with looks full of scars and irremediable losses. The night wolf epidemic faded, but it left in its wake a village marked by eternity and a new legend woven into the dark fabric of Therion. The village of Ravenwood, now enveloped in an eerie silence, was immersed in physical and emotional reconstruction. Mayor Alexander Hartman, whose eyes reflected the weight of difficult decisions, was leading the recovery efforts. Dr. Alara Nightshade, with his gaze now filled with knowledge gained through tragedy, was dedicated to researching antidotes to the bites of the night wolves that still lingered on the survivors. Amid the ruins, the huntress Seraphina Bloodmoon stood as a figure of hope, instigating a new era of understanding between the inhabitants and the beings that were once their enemies. His bond with Cassandra Moonshade deepened, marking the beginning of an alliance between ancient knowledge and the will to change the destiny of Ravenwood. The town, however, could not completely escape the shadows that still lurked. Morrigan Shadow Dancer, although defeated in the final battle, left an indelible mark on the collective memory. Night whispers and shadows dancing at the edge of vision reminded the villagers that evil, once released, is never completely extinguished. The seer Cassandra Moonshade, now recognized as the guardian of the connection between the worlds, retreated into the shadows of the forests, carrying with her secrets that still echoed in the wind. Isolde Ravenshadow, the wise old woman, became the keeper of the legends, ensuring that future generations remembered the fragility of the line between light and darkness. The doomed love between Alaric Grimshaw and Alicia Silvermoon became a tragic legend, their souls intertwined in the eternity of the night. The church, rebuilt but marked by the past, stood as a symbol of resilience, as Father Gregory Blackthorne sought reconciliation between faith and unfathomable mysteries. Ravenwood, although scarred, did not give up hope. The village, now forged in the forge of suffering and redemption, became a beacon of warning for those who dared challenge the limits of the unknown. The epidemic of the night wolves faded, but its echo would resonate in every shadow and night whisper, reminding everyone that the line between good and evil, light and dark, is as fragile as the light of the moon that illuminates the hidden paths of Therion.